This week is the 20th anniversary of the Indian Wells incident with Serena Williams. And Maurice wanted to reflect on that, on Serena's career. So I'm going to hand it over to Maurice. Maurice, what you got?
Well, it's the 20th anniversary of the very heinous and very racist events that took place at the 2001 Indian Wells women's tennis tournament, which ultimately led to both Venus and Serena Williams boycotting the event for well over a decade. And I like you said, Adam, I want to use the opportunity as I want to use this as an opportunity to not just recap the event, but I also want to just give a bit of a nod, salute, and ode to Serena Williams herself. But first, I want to go all the way back to the quarterfinals of the Indian Wells tournament when Serena, she won her match. She moved forward. Venus, however, faced a woman named Alina D. something. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name.
Eastern European, something vaguely, yeah.
Exactly. But while Venus did win that match in order to set up a semifinal between her and her sister, after that match, Alina was very pissed off and she accused the Williams sisters and their father, Richard, of fixing the matches. Of course, the next day, Venus Williams suddenly dropped out of the match against Serena due to injury, which set the tennis world ablaze. It caught the ire of the entire very white tennis universe.
A crescendo of boos for Serena Williams. And there's Father Richard coming down. It's quite amazing. Joe Jury alongside me, Simon Reed. There's Venus. And the crowd, an American crowd, booing an American family. And you have to say that it does smack of a little bit of racism.
Yeah, so as we saw in the video, the next day at the finals, the Williams sisters and their father were emphatically booed by the tennis crowd. They were called the N-word. And some dude even said to them, "I wish it was 75, we'd skin you alive." And remember this is a 20-year-old Venus Williams and a 19-year-old Serena Williams. They are two of the top tennis stars in a very white tennis world that stomps out blackness at every turn. And now they're engulfed in a controversy that they didn't even start. If there's a one silver lining, though, it's that, of course, Serena Williams, in dramatic come from behind fashion, came back to defeat Kim Clijsters in the Indian Wells finals, which then her and her sister boycotted until Serena came back in 2015.
I have a question for you. And because maybe this is blending this and there's no conspiracy this week, I want to ask you, and I think that if it happened, it was cool. I'm not actually saying it's bad at all, but do you think that Venus Williams pulled out because she was injured, or do you think that the family pulled out as a fuck you to Indian Wells, which I think would be cool? But do you think it was a legitimate or a fuck you?
I think it was legitimate mainly because this was, I think, to the best of my knowledge, this was the first time them boycotting Indian Wells. That was the first time they made any sort of public active statement against tennis or anything like that. So I think it was legitimate. And also, it doesn't really make sense because for them to fix games between the two, because Serena Williams, I'm pretty sure, has a very definitive winning record against Venus. So you would think that the record would be a little bit more even if they were trying to fix shit. You know what I'm saying?
And Venus is more injury plagued than Serena. She
Exactly.
just is. Her
Yeah,
career,
she's had a lot of health issues.
She's had a lot more injuries than Serena has. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Speaking of Serena's career, though, the reason why I wanted to talk about this incident is because I really think that this Indian Wells event is a real representation of Serena's entire career, because it's a career that's celebrated. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not quite sure that people really understand her greatness. I'm not sure that we really grasp the domination that we've seen from Serena Williams over it's been over 2 decades now. And it's something that I don't think that we've seen in any other sport. We probably won't see it again. And on top of that, we got to remember that this is a dark-skinned black woman who is constantly the butt of the jokes from her opponents, from media, even fans. She's dealt with racist caricatures. She's dealt with the media masculinizing her and her opponents as well, comparing her to animals. And on top of all that, she won a Grand Slam while she was pregnant. And then she almost died giving birth to that baby because, again, she is a black woman and the doctors didn't believe her pain, didn't care about her health. So I really just cannot drive home enough how incredible this woman's career is. And I think to put the stamp on it is the fact that she's been an inspiration for black girls and black women of tennis's present and future. The first one I'd say is Coco Gauff, who just turned 17, very young, extremely bright star. And then, of course, there's Southpaw favorite Naomi Osaka, who is absolutely incredible.
Serena's only slip up is that she married the Reddit guy, which is incredibly fucking lame.
Oh, actually, we can't talk about that on here.
What happened? What? No, I mean, all I say when I think about it, and I actually think about it too, because we were talking about the passing of Hank Aaron in about a month ago, is that like when I have a shitty day or a shitty week, like I don't even want to do this show. Like, and this is the easiest thing in the world. And like, imagine you had the brilliance to be at the top of your chosen profession for so many years and deal with all the extraneous bullshit and racism around you. It requires a level of strength and poise and dignity that I can't even imagine, because I want to cancel the show when I've had a bad day.
It's very exciting that people like Naomi Osaka have built off this kind of space for women's athletics to not only succeed in probably what is the most popular and financially successful women's spectator sport, which is tennis, to expand into probably the second one, which is soccer. And it's very cool. I think she kind of got started on this whole like building the legacy a little bit faster than Serena or Venus, because they kind of have had multiple arcs in their story. And I'm sure that Naomi will as well. But, this is a little bit more of the LeBron to Serena's MJ.
So with that being said, I think what is due to Serena is the good old Southpaws toast, a toast to the GOAT, period.
Cheers to Serena.
Cheers, folks.
To Serena.